Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So, let's talk about our Tuesdays and Thursdays Facebook Live. So, on Tuesday, I will have to go live. Probably, I'm going to shoot for about noon on Tuesday to do my Facebook Live. My girls, myself, and my neighbor, we are going to do a painting class, kind of like the Easter Bunny one we did, but this one I think is lavenders. And I should be home in time to do the live, but I don't want to stress out and I don't want to rush. So I'm going to do my live Tuesday afternoon versus Tuesday evening. And then Thursday, we should be fine for our normal Thursday at 7 p.m. But then after that, my husband and I are leaving for the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. So after next Thursday, I will be off for about 2 weeks. I'm sure I'll post some pictures and stuff, but I think it's a 9 or 10 hour time zone change difference than Arizona. So I don't even know what time it will be where we're at half the time. So after next week, I will be taking about 2 week break, and then I will definitely be back to doing more lives. Good evening, Valerie. Welcome. So hopefully you guys were able to see my little time lapse, I think it's called. I don't know. My daughter Cassie actually showed me how to do it. So I did a time lapse. That's what it's called. I did a time lapse on this adorable card that literally has been on my desk and on my to-do list to do for probably 3 or 4 years. And I don't even remember what day, maybe Sunday, I finally sat down and did it. And then I was like, oh, I was so excited. I wanted to do a video on it, but I couldn't find the time to do a video. And then this morning I was like, I am doing it. No matter what, I am going to do that video. So on my YouTube, I did post the actual measurements and where I'm talking and you can kind of follow step by step. The little fast one that I did was just a little synopsis of the card. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was my second one I've done. I didn't post the first one, but it is officially the first one I've posted. So hopefully you guys liked that. Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening, Heather. If you're just logging on, say hi so I know you're here. So today's card is all about using some scraps. I have created a super fun, super easy card using that little tiny 2-inch strip that you get at the bottom of your designer series paper. After you cut your 4 by 5 1/4, you always have that 2 inches at the bottom. Maybe it's 2.5. I don't know. Whatever it is. We are going to use that in a phenomenal card tonight. So let's point you over so we can get started. I know I'm sure you guys have seen this stamp set used all over the place. It is that phenomenal. One of my girlfriends actually just ordered the suite today, and that's what reminded me to tell you that the suite collection on page 110, it is everything on the page on 111. So you get the dies, the stamp set, the designer series paper, and the gems for one price and one code. The gems are on low inventory right now, so you'll still be able to get the designer series paper and the stamps and dies. But if you don't order soon, if you do want it, just know that the gems are on low inventory. But it is the Fresh as a Daisy suite. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is what we are focusing the retreat on. I'm sorry, not retreat, the bingo and BOGO that is on Saturday. This is the set we're going to be using. All of the cards are prepped, designed, ready to go. So I am so excited to show you guys what that is. So there's that. Let me bring in the gorgeous designer series paper. So I love this side because you can literally cut and you have your card fronts already done and ready for you. So you don't have to do a lot of thinking. And then Moody Mauve on the back. Oh, that is probably one of my newest favorite colors. Oh, maybe the Lemon Lolly. We are using that tonight. This is the designer series paper that I'm going to be playing with tonight. But so fun and so beautiful. Okay, this one might be my favorite. Or this one might be my favorite. I don't know. It is just so gorgeous. I think I want to do my entire bathroom out of this paper. You guys, I did this one a couple weeks ago. So that's the designer series paper. So when you're cutting your 4 by 5 1/4, you always have these extra pieces at the bottom. Can you tell I've used a lot of this design? You always have these leftover pieces. So I actually have my little ruler right here. So I do, well, this one's 3 3/4 inch just because I happen to cut it a little bit different. So it is 2 inches. I was right. So what we're going to do is take these little strips and we are going to cut them down to, hold that thought, I have to grab them. We are going to cut them down to 4 1.5 by 1.5 strips. Let me just triple check now that I feel like I had a brain fart. Okay, yeah, nope, it's 1.5. So you're going to need 4 1.5 strips of any designer series paper. So you can use up lots of scraps. We are going to need a piece for your envelope. So if you have a coordinating piece, you can totally do that. If it doesn't match perfectly, it's totally okay. You have your card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Since I already have this out, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it and give it a good crease. There we go. And I actually think I forgot to show you guys the card we're going to be making. This is Lemon Lolly. I'll show you the card after we do all of the measurements. This is the Lemon Lolly. It's one of the new ones. This is 4 by 5 1/4. We have a piece of our Pebble Path. Try to say that 10 times fast. This is 3 3/4 inch square, so 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. We have another piece of Lemon Lolly. This is 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. And then we have 2 little pieces here. So this is our basic white. It's 1 inch by 3.5. And the Pebble Path is 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. Sorry, I heard my ding go off in my ear, so it kind of threw me for a loop. Okay, so those are all of the measurements. Let me bring in the card we're going to be doing. So here it is. So it's super fun, definitely different. I love that you have the squares, you have the circles. I love everything about this. I didn't stamp the inside. I usually don't, but you definitely could stamp something on the inside if you wanted to. But it says, your friendship means everything, thank you. And you could really even put the happy birthday at the bottom, or you could leave it blank and put another piece of designer series paper if you don't want the thank you. But that's the card we're going to be creating. So let's get crafting. So I'm going to take the Pebble Path, the 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch, and I am going to chop out the center. I'm using the 2-inch circle punch, and it's a 2-inch circle punch. I didn't do this for any reason for saving designer series or saving cardstock or anything. I just did it because, I don't know, I just did. So I cut that out. I did it first so I wouldn't forget. So we're going to take our designer series paper and we're just going to line this up. We're just going to eyeball it. Sometimes I like to have a layering piece underneath it so I don't have to eyeball it, but this one really looked cute just being eyeballed. So that looks really good. So I'm going to grab one square at a time. I'm going to pick this up and put some adhesive on the back. And I did bring over a new glue. It is so exciting when you open up a new glue bottle. It is for me anyways. It's the little things that make me excited. Good evening, Marie. Welcome. So I'm going to put that one there, kind of just straighten it up just a smidgen. So we're going to do this to all 4 pieces. And I am not making sure it is super even on all the edges. I'm just doing the best I can. I think if you were trying super hard, you might get frustrated. And that's not the point of making cards. We don't want anybody to get frustrated. So there you go. There is that. So the one thing I will give you a tip, if you do cut the 2-inch circle out of this piece, just make sure that you don't scribble the glue across your entire card. It will happen, especially if you're thinking of something else while you're doing this. So one of our other cards, we might have to finagle that. So I'm going to glue that right on top. And then I'm going to actually do a little bit of stamping on this piece first. So I did bring in the thank you is from the Go-To Greetings, and literally the name of this set is just spot on. I probably should wipe that off. It looks a little dirty. But Go-To Greetings, literally everything you need is in one set. So I am using the thank you. So I'm going to open up my Pebble Path, ink up my thank you, and I'm going to come in and just stamp this right in the center. If you can see, I'm just going to try to move my hand but not move the stamp. I scooted the stamp up a little bit so part of it was hanging off the top and there's a little piece hanging off on the bottom. Because there is the edge around the top and the bottom, the center stamp is a little funky on your eyes. Like if you think you're getting it in the center, it's going to be too far down. So I've kind of just come to realize that you just need to go up a little bit versus where you think it's supposed to be. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to close that up so I don't put my finger in it, and I probably could have left it open because we need it again in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. There we go. So now we can glue everything to our lemon lolly. Isn't that such a cute name? And the Bubble Bath is such a cute name too. Put some adhesive on the back, and I'm going to scoot this up a little bit farther than I probably normally would because this is going to go right at the bottom. So I'm going to scoot this up just a smidgen more. There we go. Now we can glue this down. And yes, I could have made my petal path be all one size, but I really liked how the lemon lolly kind of showed through on all of it. So there we go. Let's attach this to our card base. And all we have to do is the sentiment in the center. Hold that down for a quick second. Let's scoot that over to the side. I am going to come in with the Cheerful Daisy, and I want to use this, Your Friendship Means Everything. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. I'm going to kind of just stamp it in the center. Not really the center of the paper, but the center of this area, because I'm going to bring in my 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch that out. And since I already have the punch out, I'm going to do this 2 more times. If we have enough time, I'm going to put the other 2 cards together. If not, it's all good. There's that. There we go. Easy peasy. And now we can take the circle that we cut out of the center of our card that nobody is going to know that we did that because it is all covered up. I'm going to put this in the center. I'm going to flip it over, bring in my card, add some dimensionals to the back. And you definitely could have put dimensionals on the back of the thank you as well if you wanted to. It's your card. You can totally do it with whatever you want. Put that down, and then I have some rhinestones that I am going to put on. Just try to find my take your pick tool, and I'm going to put one up top and one on each side. So there we go. Look how easy that card was to put together, and it is so cute. I literally fell in love with it when I saw this. And don't forget your envelopes. I did forget the envelopes in on my table, but I'm sure you guys have seen me do envelopes before, so I will do those later. So we have our card base. We're just going to fold that. It's since I have my ink open, I'm just going to go ahead and do this thank you. Let's make sure it's in the center, and it is. And my other one is already done, so I can close up the ink. Go ahead and get all of our pieces out. I'm going to punch the 2-inch circle just so I don't forget. And I'll probably forget on the last one, watch. It's the way it always goes. So I'm just going to line these up. Right now I'm just kind of setting them there, and then I'm just going to go back in and kind of make sure that they're even. That doesn't look too tragic to me. Plus I'm not right over top of it because my camera is right in the way, so hopefully it's even. But I don't think anybody would be upset if it wasn't. So the BOGO is actually almost finished. We will be in the house this year. Last year we did it in my husband's RV garage. Well, it's our RV garage. And it was a little bit toasty. So this year I decided to do it in the house. And I think it's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous where we could have done it in the RV garage. But everything's already in the house, so I'm just going to stick with doing it in there. So the bingo starts at 6 and the BOGO starts at 3. So you can come anytime starting at 3 o'clock and shop my BOGO stuff. Wow, I was actually talking and I remembered not to scribble the glue all over the back. I have lots and lots of stuff. So my daughter's coming over tomorrow to help me alphabetize everything. Yes, a little crazy, I know, but if you know what you're looking for and you can't make it, you can definitely send me a message and I can see if I have it, and hopefully it'll be easy to find because everything will be alphabetized. Okay, so there's all those pieces. Let's glue these guys together. So there we go. I'm going to remember to scoot this a little bit higher than you normally would. Just so this little piece can slide in on the bottom. There we go. I actually think I like this one better. It's a little bit farther apart right at the bottom. I mean, it's still perfect. Nobody's going to know, oh, she's a smidgen off. But it's just preference. There we go. Let's grab some rhinestones. Now we'll glue this to our card base. Working a little bit backwards, but that's okay. See how many more cards I can get out of this glue. It's been spitting for a while, and I'm surprised it is still coming out. Okay, our last card. We still have plenty of time. I know that if you've logged on since the beginning, you've seen me do it twice already. But if you're just logging on, you can watch me do it again. All of the measurements are in the description before I went live. And I do go over them in the beginning as well. So you can rewatch the video if you want to. But this is the perfect card to use up a lot of your scraps. I think maybe the hardest part is getting them up after you have set them down. Especially with fingernails. There we go. And we have one left, one little square left. Perfect. And another little tip, if you are not the biggest fan of using the green glue, make sure you are not using too much. I didn't forget. Are you guys all proud of me? Make sure you're not using too much. If you're finding that your fingers are super duper sticky from using this, it means you're using a little too much glue. A little goes a long way. So we'll get all these glued together. And then we will have 4 cards completely finished, besides the envelope. There we go. Bring in our lemon lolly. Oh, Miss Little Natalie. She doesn't remember that I have my Facebook Live. I just sent her to voicemail, so she'll probably get the hints. So I'm going to push this up. There we go. Put this down at the bottom. Flip that over. Add a few dimensionals to the back. There's that. And then gonna add our diamonds, our rhinestones, glue it to our card base, and then I'll bring all the cards back in. There we go. All finished, besides the envelope. So I did 4 thank you cards, and it's all using the Daisy Friendship. I literally have the Fresh Daisy Designer Series paper and the Cheerful Daisy stamp set and dies. So there you go. It is such a cute way to use up Designer Series paper. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's live. I will be back on Tuesday, but it will be in the afternoon. I'm shooting for right around noon. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to do noonish. But Tuesday will be in the afternoon. Thursday will be at our normal 7. And then after that, I will be taking a couple weeks off. So I will be in touch. I will be around, but I just won't be in our state. So if you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If you need any help ordering any of the product that I used tonight, definitely send me a message and I can help you out. We'll chat with you soon, and I will see everybody, a lot of you on Saturday for Bingo and BOGO, and then I'll see many of you on Tuesday's live. Chat with you soon. Bye-bye.